Hey there makers, I'm Bree from the team here at Minerva, and today I am back with some sewing inspiration all about stitching up a wintry capsule wardrobe. So I am really passionate about sewing, not just as a process, but also as a way for creating an intentional wardrobe that you can wear for years to come. Now, one of my favorite ways to do this is by creating mini capsule wardrobes each season. For me, it really helps to kind of organize all my sewing plans and make sure that everything that I make will mix and match seamlessly with other items. This way I can create multiple outfits and make sure that the garments that I sew get lots of wear. So in this video, I'll give a quick little overview of what a capsule wardrobe is, my process for planning a seasonal capsule wardrobe to sew, and of course, the fabrics and patterns that I have picked for this winter. So the patterns and fabrics will be linked below, and if you go to the product pages, you'll also get to see what those products look like, sewn up and modeled by other makers. It is so fun to scroll through, get some extra inspiration, as well as see how different fabrics drape and move, and what different patterns can look like on different body types and different fabrics. It is my favorite feature of the Minerva website, and I hope you'll check it out. So if you're not familiar with the term, capsule wardrobe refers to a small collection of garments that can be interchanged and worn several ways to create multiple outfits out of just a few pieces. So generally a capsule wardrobe will include 2 to 3 tops, a couple bottom pieces, maybe a dress or two, and a layering piece or more depending on the season. So since capsule wardrobes are all about versatility, many will stick to neutral tones with very little print. It's super effective for creating lots of outfits, but I love color and print and want to create lively garments that can still go together and create cohesive looks. So I have a few tricks for bringing color and print into a capsule collection while keeping that curated look and versatility. So the best way is to begin planning your capsule wardrobe with a color palette. So this ensures that you'll be able to match items together, whether you're keeping things kind of complementary or going for more contrast. So there's a few ways to do this. You can pick one color to focus on and then build your palette from there, choosing similar or opposing colors to complement it. You can also choose a print to pull colors out of that form a color palette. That is one of my absolute favorite ways to do it. But this time I'm going for a more traditional approach by leaning into a seasonal color palette and building from there. So typical seasonal color palettes could be like pastels for spring, brights in the summertime, earth tones for fall, and deep saturated jewel tones for winter. Now, this isn't to say that anyone should only wear these colors during the season. Color is so personal, and I'm a big believer that we should all wear whatever makes us feel good. That being said, I think that seasonal colors can provide a nice framework or a jumping off point. So for this winter capsule, I chose to adapt a jewel toned color palette. Instead of rigorously sticking to sapphire blue, emerald green, and ruby red, I went a bit softer with a deep teal and maroon, and then complemented those with some warm neutrals like cream and rust. So with my colors sorted, then I went to consider what kind of fabrics I wanted to wear. Now, I'm not picking patterns yet, but I am keeping in mind that I'll want a mix of lightweight fabrics for tops, as well as heavier fabrics for bottoms and layering pieces. In the winter, I know I will prioritize wearing comfy fabrics like wool, corduroy, and knits. And then from there, I can go on Minerva and browse using the color and fabric type filters on the left side. I am someone that can get easily overwhelmed by too many choices, so I love the filtering options on Minerva. It makes it feel like I'm having a casual browse through lots of fabrics, but I'm only seeing what's going to be relevant to these projects. It is super helpful, and I highly recommend trying it out. Before we get into the full project details, I thought I would really quickly show off the fabrics. I'm going to go through them briefly now and then get into the details a bit later when we look at the projects. I wanted to just show them together so you can see how the colors work and how the fabrics influenced my pattern choices. So I started with coating fabrics and I couldn't resist one of the new quilted cotton sateens. They are just so warm and snuggly. This one has gorgeous colors. I knew that the petrol background with the like maroon and purpley tones in this print were going to be great for matching with other jewel tones. I also knew that I would want a wool coat, and I found this beautiful sapphire boiled wool. And then next I searched for a couple of knits, knowing that I'd want some warm layers. So I found this lovely maroon interlock as well as this really soft cream rib. Both are really versatile weights, so they could make tops, they could make dresses or skirts. I also knew I'd want a proper blouse, and in the winter I prefer cotton over viscose or linen. So I found this beautiful cotton sateen in a teal that is actually quite similar to this sapphire wool. And then lastly I looked for bottom weights, so I picked a suiting and a rust. Now I love the way that the rust and the cream kind of warm up this color palette. They are smooth enough, like neutral enough to match with the other colors, but they both have really great textures. So looking at everything together, I think it feels quite cohesive without being overly matchy-matchy. We have a couple of prints as well as the texture in the wool, the rib knit, and the velvet, all kind of bringing some extra character into this somewhat limited color palette, but it still has lots of character and dimension. Now to choose patterns, looking at my fabric choices and considering what I want out of my winter wardrobe, I have determined that the rust velvet and the houndstooth will both be trousers. So the rust velvet is a stretch woven, so I'm thinking a stretch jeans pattern could work very well. And the houndstooth is a super classic print, really nice weave, so I'm thinking a wide leg trouser would be great for that one. As I mentioned, the cotton sateen was destined to be a blouse, and I think I would like it to be something with some romantic details to complement or contrast like the checks of the two trouser fabrics. Now, I also really love a roll neck in the wintertime. I think they're great for wearing on their own or to layer up, and this rib knit is going to be perfect. Now, this interlock is gorgeous and it would make a really great jumper or cardigan, but what I think this capsule needs is a dress, and ideally something that can be like layered up, so I think that will be this one. The wool, always destined to be a coat. That is what I was looking for a wool for. And then lastly, this quilted cotton sateen I think is going to be a gilet, so a little vest as we call it in the States, something to go over all of these beautiful tops. I think it will just up the level of like fun and energy and bring something really cool to this capsule. To choose patterns, I browsed under the Patterns tab and again used the filters on the left-hand side. I love sewing indie patterns, so that always gets a check on from me. And then I also use the category of style to sort tops, trousers, coats, etc. And then since I have my fabrics chosen, I also like to use the knit/woven filters as well as the stretch non-stretch filter. I really love that one for narrowing down and getting specific about stretch wovens versus wovens or stretch wovens versus knits. So you can really get exactly what you need for the pattern and fabric combo. It is a great feature. So with that, I chose my pattern for 2 tops, 2 trousers, a dress, a coat, and a gilet. So let's dig into all of the pattern and fabric details. Let's start with the blouse and this gorgeous Minerva Core range cotton sateen. So of course it is 100% cotton and it's a really, really nice weight. So being a sateen, it has this really soft, ultra fine feel to it as well as a bit of a sheen. So this is the dark teal and it also comes in 15 other gorgeous, vibrant colors. We love a cotton because it's great to work with. It stays in place when you're cutting out. It presses like a dream and just generally like does what you tell it to do while sewing. And of course it is going to be breathable and soft to wear. So this cotton sateen is like everything that we love about cotton, but then a step up with that fine satin weave. It is perfect for blouses, dresses, and skirts. For the dark teal cotton sateen, I have chosen the Sew House 7 Regalia blouse. Now, I absolutely adore the romantic detailing in this pattern. I love the high neckline. I think it's really cute, but also practical for the winter. The regalia blouse features a fitted yoke with a stand collar and keyhole opening at the back. The front and back bodice pieces are gathered into those yokes, creating a really lovely detail along the back and along the high bust. You can choose if you want an elbow length puff sleeve with a little cuff, or if you want the full length sleeve, as well as a cropped length or a tuck-inable length with an optional waist high. The regalia blouse comes in 2 different pattern sizes, so you'll want to be sure to order the right one based on your size and your shape. So the standard fit includes sizes 00 to 20, which is a 34 to 50-inch hip. The standard fit is drafted for a straighter figure, where the curvy fit accounts for like a fuller bust, rounder hips, and narrower shoulders. So the curvy range for this pattern includes sizes 16 to 34, which is a 46-inch to a 64-inch high hip. So it's an intermediate pattern. The silhouette is pretty straightforward, but they've definitely taken into account all the little details, and they've taken the finishing techniques up a notch to really help you create a beautiful heritage garment. Most light to medium weight woven fabrics will pair well for the regalia blouse. More bodied fabrics like cotton poplin or shirting will result in a more structured architectural look. So that's going to be really great, especially in that cropped view. Now, flowier fabrics like viscose, tencel, and crepe will have a softer, more ethereal look, and the gathers are going to be a little less pronounced. If you're looking for something kind of in between those two, lightweight linen, linen blends, cotton lawn, and cotton sateen are great options. I think the core range cotton sateen from Minerva is perfect for a wintry regalia blouse in the long sleeves and the longer length, perfect for tucking into a pair of trousers or even layered up under a pinafore. For the second top, I have this ultra cozy Minerva Core range baby soft cotton rib knit. Now this is, in my opinion, the perfect t-shirt ribbing. It is 95% cotton and 5% elastane with 90% horizontal and vertical stretch. So some ribs are meant for finishing off cuffs and neck bands, and you totally could use this for that, but this one is more meant for making full garments. It is a dressmaker's width, and the fabric itself is a bit finer and less bulky than a cuffing rib. Now, I really love the texture of this extra wide rib knit. It kind of gives it like an elevated sweater knit feel. This is the ecru colorway. It is kind of a warm ivory. But it also comes in 15 other colors, so lots of options there. It is just like so snuggly. Again, the perfect weight for t-shirt, but you could also do a sweater or a dress or a skirt in this. It is just really soft and lush. So I think a classic mock neck top is so essential in the wintertime. So to go with the baby soft cotton rib knit, I have picked the Nico top from True Bias. The Nico is a firm favorite in the sewing community, and it just really shows how a well-executed, simple silhouette can be so impactful. The Nico is a fitted top and midi-length dress with a mock neck. The sleeveless view is super chic, but the long sleeve version I think is the perfect multi-use piece for a winter capsule wardrobe. The printed Nico comes in sizes 0 to 18, which is a 34 to 46.5-inch hip. It is considered an advanced beginner pattern, so if you have experience working with knit garments, you'll be able to stitch this up in no time. So the Nico top and dress, the hardest part is finding the right fabric. It has significant negative ease, which means that the shape is really going to rely on the stretch of the fabric to fit onto your body. So choosing a knit with at least 75% crossways stretch is really important. So we want to make this a little easier for you, and on all of our fabric listings in the information tab, it details fabric composition, weight class, and stretch percentage. So there you can really easily check to make sure that the knit fabric you're looking at has the stretch percentage to match what your pattern requires. Now, most rib knits, as a general rule, are going to have probably around, if not more, than 75% horizontal stretch. Some cotton, viscose, and ITY jerseys do also, but I would definitely recommend checking. That one is not a rule. This one absolutely does. Super, super stretchy. is going to be perfect for fitting in all of those curves. It would be ultra chic, tucked into trousers, as well as layered under dresses and jackets. Moving on to trousers, I have picked one classic silhouette and one more trend-forward option. So for the classic trouser, I have this gorgeous Minerva Core range polyester viscose suiting. Now this is 65% polyester, 35% viscose, so the drape on this fabric is so fantastic. Now this suiting comes in over 90 different checked designs, including lots of different color options, and I really fell in love with this mini houndstooth weave. It's got these warm neutral colors, and I think that is just so timeless, and the texture adds a really lovely dimension. So it's a medium weight, which is great for making dresses, skirts, and lighter trousers. To match the timeless tone of this houndstooth suiting, I have picked a recent release from Size Me Patterns, the Serene trousers. They have the classic wide leg silhouette with a unique inset pocket, and the waistband features a sleek flat panel that anchors at the front and then is elasticated the rest of the way around for lots of style but also comfort. The Serene trousers come in sizes UK 6 to 34, which is for hips measuring 35 to 62 inches. It is rated for advancing beginners, so in addition to the written descriptive instructions, Size Me also has a full video sew-along that you can follow for extra support. You'll want to look for medium weight woven fabrics with a bit of drape. So suiting options, gabardine, and tencel twill are really great options. This Minerva Core range polyester viscose suiting has great drape and would pair so nicely with the Serene trousers. I think they would look really cute, like dressed up with heels, or you could wear them casually with trainers. I think there are so many options, lots of outfit potential with these. As much as I love a wide leg trouser, when it is cold out, I often reach for something a bit more form-fitting, like stretch denim, corduroy, or in this case, a stretch velvet. So this is the Atelier Brunette Dandy Cotton Velvet in the color Rust. It is 97% cotton and 3% elastane. So that elastane gives it like just a little bit of give, a little bit of horizontal stretch, making it absolutely perfect for a pair of fitted stretch trousers. So this is another case where I think a textured solid can be such a wardrobe workhorse. The solid neutral color means that it's going to match with lots of tops and layering pieces, but this like hatched checked texture brings a lot of character and uniqueness to an outfit. It's a great bottom weight. It's perfect for like a sturdier skirt or pinafore, and definitely for a pair of trousers. To play up the kind of subtle 70s vibe of this rust-colored check dandy cotton velvet, I have picked the Isle jeans from Chalk and Notch. Now this pattern is currently at the top of my to sew list. I love these like vintage sailor details of these high-waisted trousers. So both views are fitted through the waist and the hip with patch pockets at the front and the back. But unlike traditional jeans pattern, the back is shaped with darts instead of a yoke, which makes them a little bit easier to fit. And then the waistband is also finished with an inner facing rather than a waistband, which also makes them a little bit more comfortable. So view A features a flare leg that is fitted down the thigh and through the knee before kicking out, and view B is a wide leg that is relaxed from the hip downward. The Isle jeans come in US sizes 0 to 30, so that is hips 35 to 59 inches. It is an intermediate pattern, so anytime you have to set in a zip fly, it's going to take a little bit of practice, but the instructions are really thorough and they hold your hand through the entire process. The Isle jeans were designed for medium weight stretch woven fabrics with at least 10% stretch. So you'll want to look for fabrics like stretch denim, stretch twill, and stretch cord. Now, I think the flare view of the Isle jeans in this rusty check dandy cotton velvet will make such a cool pair of trousers, kind of mixing like vintage but also trendy details for lots of versatility. The next project I have is a dress in this beautiful two-face code interlock tencel cotton knit from Meat Milk. So this one is 65% tencel, 31% cotton, and 4% elastane. So it has 55% horizontal stretch and 25% vertical stretch. This is the maroon colorway, and it comes in over 10 colors. It is just wonderfully like squishy and soft. Interlock knits are basically like two sheets of single jersey that are either knitted or bound together to make a thicker, cozier, two-sided fabric. And the result is a denser, more stable knit that is both warmer and easier to work with than a single jersey. It also means that you can make either side your right side. Just make sure you want to mark which ones. Sometimes it's really obvious with the color, but in this case, I think it's a bit more subtle. So one side is a bit more sleek and the other one has kind of like a matte finish to it. So this would be so great for jumpers, cardigans, dresses, trousers, and skirts. For the Meat Milk Interlock Knit, I have gone for the Style Arc Sia dress. Now I love a classic sheath dress, and I was thinking how it would be just like so striking, worn on its own for a night out or a classy event, but it could also be layered up over either the regalia blouse or the Nico top, kind of like a pinafore for lots of versatility. So this is a loosely tailored shift silhouette that is shaped by bust darts and has contoured side seams. The Sia dress features a double V neckline and faux welt pockets for a smart little detail. The Sia dress comes in sizes 4 to 30, which is spread across two size packages. Size 4 to 16 covers hips 32.5 to 44.5 inches, and the 18 to 30 range covers hips 46.5 to 61 inches. It's considered an easy pattern with straightforward construction and includes light instructions. You'll want to look for stable knit fabrics like Ponte Roma and Interlock for the Sia dress. I think it is such a versatile pattern and made up in this Meat Milk Tencel cotton interlock, it would make such a great wardrobe workhorse. The last category for our winter capsule wardrobe is layering pieces. So first up, I have this incredible quilted cotton sateen from the Minerva exclusive collection. Oops. This is the print Boudoir Bouquet. It is fully reversible with this beautiful abstract floral on one side and then this gorgeous pink on the other side. Now, I love hot pink, but I was definitely drawn to this fabric because of the floral. I think the colors in here fit so nicely in with our jewel toned color palette. I just love the colors in this print. We have the like petrol-y background and various shades of pink and purple and green, almost like with an ombre effect to the print. Now each side is 100% cotton in this fine sateen weave, so here, and then the middle is of course batting, which is 100% polyester. It is pre-quilted together in the classic diamond pattern, so it's all ready to go for coats, jackets, and gilets. So I love a little gilet in the winter, and I have been meaning to make one up for myself for a while now. So to go with the Boudoir Bouquet quilted cotton sateen coating, I have picked the Sew Me Something Greta jacket and gilet. It is a loose fitting piece, and you can decide to make it sleeveless as a gilet, or you could go for long straight sleeves for like the full coat quilt effect. You can also choose if you want a bias bound round neckline, or my favorite, the built up cozy super wide funnel collar. And there's a lot of options for finishing, so depending on your fabric, whether you choose to quilt a non-quilted fabric or start with a pre-quilted fabric, there's lots of techniques for binding the seams and finishing everything together depending on your fabric. So the Greta comes in sizes extra small to 4X, and that covers hips 33.5 to 63.5 inches, and it is rated for confident sewers. The construction is super simple, but the techniques definitely take some practice, especially when you're working with bigger, thicker materials. So for fabrics, you will want to look for mid-weight wovens, including denim, corduroy, and twill, as well as lightweight wool coating and battings to go with them. Or you can pick a pre-quilted fabric like this one from the Minerva exclusive collection. It's definitely made for pre-quilted fabrics in mind, and this one would be so perfect as the Greta gilet. Lastly, in this winter capsule, I have a coat and this beautiful Minerva Core Range 100% pure boiled wool. So this is the color Sapphire, which of course works in our jewel tone color palette. And this is just one of 90 gorgeous, beautifully vibrant saturated colors. I love the texture of a boiled wool. It is so like dense and squishy with these little like swirls of felted wool. It's a classic coating, so it's got really great structure. And like many boiled wools, this fabric also has a little bit of give. So this is a really nice indicator of how the fabric can be steamed into shape to hold curves, but still offer some flexibility as well as structure. So that is absolutely what you want for coat making. In addition to coats, though, you could also use this fabric for skirts, blazers, and jackets. Yeah, it is so soft, so beautiful. For this sapphire wool coating, I have picked the Maison Fauve Tigress coat. This is such a beautifully detailed design. We have an officer style collar with these cute epaulettes at the shoulder. The funnel stand collar I think is so nice for like buttoning up to stay really like nice and toasty. There's optional welt pockets on the chest, which is great for keeping nice and warm. There's a two-piece sleeve that helps really achieve a good fit, and you can choose if you want a jacket length that hits right at the hip or the longer length that reaches to mid-thigh. Both versions include patch pockets, and the longer length also has a lined back vent. The Tigress coat comes in EU sizes 34 to 52, which is for hips measuring 34.5 to 51 inches. The difficulty of this pattern does depend on which of the details to go for. So if you're wanting a simpler version, an easier sew, skipping the welt pockets, the epaulettes, and going for the shorter length without the back vent, that kind of puts the Tigress coat into an intermediate range. Those details, especially the lining of the back vent, do move the Tigress coat into the advanced category. And that versatility makes it a great pattern to have in your stash because you can kind of grow into those skills as you keep working on your coat making. So Tigress calls for classic coating fabric with some really good structure. So fabrics like wool as well as gabardine and heavy canvas can be really good options. Now I really love a solid coating like this sapphire boiled wool, so then you can show off all of the beautiful details of the Tigress coat. So those are my picks for creating a beautiful wintry capsule wardrobe. I really enjoyed planning this capsule wardrobe. I liked sticking to that traditional color palette and letting that guide me to my fabrics, which help determine my patterns to really shape this capsule wardrobe. So to recap, we started with a classic winter jewel-toned theme color palette and then added some warm neutral tones to round it out. From there, I searched by color and fabric type to find some gorgeous fabrics and then patterns to go with them. I chose a dark teal cotton sateen from the Minerva core range for a Sew House 7 regalia blouse, then a baby soft cotton rib in cream for an essential True Bias Nico top, and then for bottoms I picked our polyester viscose suiting in a beautiful houndstooth to make up as the comfy and classy serene trousers from Size Me, and then the Atelier brunette dandy cotton velvet for a chalk and notch aisle jeans. To top it off, I chose the Minerva exclusive quilted cotton sateen in the print Boudoir Bouquet for the Sew Me Something Greta Gilet, and then the Minerva core range pure boiled wool in sapphire for a Maison Fauve Tigress coat. I hope it was helpful to take you along in my process, and hopefully you are feeling inspired to get like cozy behind your sewing machine and sew up some coordinating winter wardrobe staples. I'd love to know in the comments all about what you're making this season. If you are a wardrobe planner or if you're someone that like follows your creativity in the moment. If you are a planner though, are you someone that starts with the pattern or the fabric or maybe something more abstract like color or a feeling? Either way, let me know in the comments. I hope this video was helpful and you're feeling confident to start sewing up a version of a capsule wardrobe that suits not only your style, but your sewing practice as well this winter. If you're not already here with us, go ahead and hit that follow or subscribe button to get loads of sewing inspiration as well as tutorials and more from the team here at Minerva. That is all from me today, so until next time, happy making. Bye!